Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tuloyani. The letter to the Minister of Justice has been dispatched. I look forward to a response, and I will leave it at that. If the response does not come, bad luck. But there is life after the letter. In other words, I can get the response, then I'll take up the response with you and let you know what the response is all about. But if I don't get a response, the chariot moves on. Nothing will be disturbed. Like I said earlier on, I want to believe that there'll be a response, but if I don't get it, I don't get it, and that is what it is. This morning, I want to focus on Malesela Teffo, former advocate Malesela Teffo, and Longwe Twala, Chiku Twala's son, problematic son, if I can put it that way. Let me start with Malesela Teffo. Malesela Teffo is key to the whole investigation. Malesela Teffo, by the look of things, has got a lot of information. Unfortunately, one thing led to another. We saw the dramatic arrest of Teffo in court, which I maintain to this day was just theatrics. It was unwarranted. Whatever Teffo had done, he did not have to be arrested in that, Hollywood style in court. Anyway, Teffo has got several charges pending against him. One of them is malicious damage to property. And he's sitting in the Johannesburg prison. I understand from his wife, I've been talking to his wife, that he had secured legal representation. In other words, he had secured the services of a lawyer. But sometime last week, he fell out with that lawyer. He had a clash with that lawyer, or a run-in with that lawyer, and he ended up firing the lawyer. So as we speak, he probably has no legal representation. And this will take matters a step backwards, because anybody who comes in will have to start, matters all over again, look into the statements, the evidence, that they have against him on all these charges. But the one interesting thing which, I wonder about the Teffo matter is, why has Teffo not been granted bail? Was Teffo a flight risk? I don't think so. I took up this with his wife. Well, the wife is not a lawyer, and I don't want to, commit her to anything. But it baffles me why Teffo never got bail. So, as matters stand, Teffo sits it out in jail, probably looking for legal representation. And his matter is due to start all over again. That is Teffo. Longwe Twala is another important leg in this multidimensional inquiry. Unfortunately for Longwe Twala, I've heard that Longwe Twala is seriously on drugs. You probably all know this from media reports. Longwe Twala was arrested way back in September, and after his arrest, after stealing his father's, studio equipment worth hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rands, he was granted bail on the understanding that he is not a flight risk. He then failed to appear in the Randburg Magistrates Court on the appointed day, and then a warrant of his arrest was issued. So as it is, Longwe is back in jail. Now what happened is, when he was brought before the magistrate, Longwe explained that on the particular day when he had to be in jail, he had to be in court rather, he was sick. He produced no sick note, was remanded in custody, pending the investigation of the veracity of, the explanation that he gave that he was sick. So as it is now, where we stand now, Longwe is in jail, and an investigation is being conducted to find out whether the story that he was sick, carries any weight or is, in plain language, true. So Longa will be appearing in the Randburg Magistrates Court tomorrow, and a decision will then have to be made, depending on the investigation that has been made, into whether he was genuinely sick when he absented himself from court. But by the look of things, I'm not optimistic that Longwe is going to get bail this time around. His failure to explain his absence by way of saying he was sick without producing any, medical evidence to the effect that he was actually sick. His failure even just to send somebody on his behalf to report to the court that Longwe, even though he did not consult a doctor, is well sick at home or wherever he was supposed to be. I am saying all these factors are going to militate against his being granted bail. I don't think he's going to be granted bail. So I'm sitting now with two very key people in the whole, setup. Teffo and Longwe, who are sitting in jail. Teffo has a lot of information. This information, I believe, was not dealt with properly in the first trial. No, you remember we're in the second trial now. In the first trial, it was not dealt with properly. But be that as it may, it came out that we have 2 dockets. I think that is the biggest contribution that Teffo ever made to the Senzo Meyiwa investigation. It was this Teffo, the first person to disclose this and make it known was Teffo. Albeit, in that rather clumsy and, unfashionable way, but that is what it is. He brought it to our attention that there were in fact 2 dockets. So this is a very key man, and him sitting in jail makes it very difficult to access him. It's not very easy to access a person in court. It depends on who you are. You'll go through questions of, are you a relative? Are you his legal representative? That sort of thing. Unlike if a man was out on bail, it would be fairly easy to meet him. The same thing applies to Longwe. If he is in jail, it's not going to be very easy to get access to him because, like I said, in the Teffo case, there's a lot of red tape involved. There's a lot of red tape. And I'm reliably informed that there's a lot of red tape around these 2 people. I don't know whether it is because of, what they are saying about the Senzo Meyiwa trial, but there's a lot of red tape around them. There are a lot of eyes around them, prying eyes. There are a lot of cameras. They'll shine cameras on you, and they'll make you feel that they can see what you're up to, and they are under close scrutiny for some reason or another. Perhaps even more closer than you'd expect of men in their, in similar circumstances, or inmates in similar circumstances. But the difficulty of it does not make it impossible. Nothing is impossible on this journey. So I'm trying to make frantic efforts. I'll talk to the wife again today and see how I can get through to Malesela Teffo, and because there are those protocols. You can't just show up in jail and say, I want to see Malesela Teffo. You got to go through the family and so on and so forth, so that you get everything right when you are there. So these are the 2 key people who will, who will give us, who have given us up to now a very strong case that, in fact, there were probably no intruders into that house. Tabadima, the former constable, who was also hands-on as far as the investigation is concerned, will also be crucial in this scenario. He is available. He's running a forensics investigation consultancy. He's no longer with the South African Police Services, so access to him will be relatively easy. It's December now and things are getting a bit difficult. The courts are going on recess and that kind of thing. So it's not going to be very easy. But nothing that I've ever done has been easy. I know that the most important things in life are difficult. This is why they have to be done. That is why very few people will stick their necks out and do that which is difficult. The average person wants to do the easy stuff. So I'm not really into the easy stuff. I know the challenges that lie ahead, but I'm ready for those challenges and, the scrutiny and so on and so forth. Some doomsday prophets are saying, oh, he's out to make a name for himself. I'm not out to make a name for himself. How do I start making a name for myself in my 60s? Had this been about me making a name for myself, I made my name a long time ago. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about justice. I've got nothing personal in this. All I want to see is, to wipe off that green or to brighten up Senzo's mother's, sad-looking face. If that old lady gets justice, so be it. Another thing that I want to bring up to your attention is, we'll not just be focusing on Senzo Meyiwa. There are a lot of other issues which are of interest to you, which I'll be bringing up. Criminal trials in South Africa, of interest. Like the AKA, murder trial. There are issues there. There's also that police woman who, like Nomia in Ndlovu, has been killing people in and around her for insurance money. I'll be keeping a close watch on that. And we will branch in all sorts of directions. But this doesn't mean that the Senzo Meyiwa issue will be left behind. We are not going to leave the Senzo Meyiwa issue behind. We'll carry it along with these other issues and maybe sort of prioritize it. But they are equally important, so that we keep a close eye on how the justice system in South Africa functions. That is the most important thing. It is not about the individuals involved. It is how justice is dispensed in this country that matters, not the personalities. The personalities are not important at all. Having said that, I just want to sound out a clarion call to all my viewers to say to them, please kindly subscribe. The views are coming in very well. The subscriptions are coming in dribs and drabs. Just subscribe the way you view, and I'll be satisfied. It's that easy. Having said that, thank you very much for watching this video, and have a nice Tuesday morning. Thank you very much.